Welcome to the Wed Pro Podcast, the podcast for Wed Pros no matter their stage. We are your hosts, Katie and Roxy, and this is the Wed Pro Podcast.
Hey, welcome back to the Wed Pro Podcast, the ultimate show for wedding industry professionals looking to elevate their business. I'm Katie.
And I'm Roxy, and today we are diving into a hot topic. Why are couples taking longer to make decisions in 2024? What's causing this delay? And more importantly, how can you, as wedding suppliers, adapt to meet these changing needs?
But before we get started, a quick reminder about WedCon, the must-attend event of the year for wedding professionals. You're going to gain actionable insights, hear from the best of the best industry experts, and connect with a room full of like-minded wedding pros. Tickets are selling fast, so grab yours while you can.
And now a quick word from our sponsor. This episode is brought to you by His Day. His Day is on a mission to make the wedding industry more inclusive, ensuring that everyone feels represented when planning their big day. They offer a variety of resources tailored for wedding professionals so you can create a more inclusive experience for all of your clients. Check out their resources and start making a difference in your wedding business today.
So let's jump in. Why are couples taking longer to make decisions this year? I think one of the most significant factors that we really need to touch on is that we are in an election year. And, you know, some of you may be listening that haven't actually had your business through an election year before. But historically, what this creates is a lot of uncertainty around the economy, more uncertainty than maybe we've had even before, because we are in a very unique set of circumstances with, you know, the cost of living crisis that seems to have been going on for a really long time, pre that pandemic. But research shows that kind of during election periods, consumer confidence, so buyer confidence tends to dip. And that's just across the board as people kind of wait to see, especially with significant purchases and significant spends, as people wait to see kind of what direction the country is headed in, you know, what's happening with interest rates before kind of big financial commitments. So, you know, weddings does fall into that.
Absolutely, it really does. According to a 2020 report by the Wedding Report, couples tend to delay decisions during times of economic uncertainty. They're cautious because they don't want to commit to something that might be impacted by potential changes in taxes, interest rates, or even employment prospects.
Absolutely. And I know for me, you know, we've looked at, you know, even in our own personal circumstances, you know, delaying some decisions about, you know, housing or moving house or looking at, you know, things for us, just because we're like, nope, let's wait, what's happening with the economy. So I can definitely, you know, relate to that. And I don't think it's just about the election. I touched on it a minute ago, but we're also seeing the effects of inflation and the cost of living crisis, which does make couples think twice about spending. It's not that people aren't spending, and I think that's really important to address, but they're just evaluating every option, ensuring that their money goes towards something truly worth it. And as a result, they're doing a lot more research before committing to the wedding supplies that they want to book for their wedding.
Exactly. And speaking of research, today's couples, especially Gen Zs, are incredibly savvy. A recent study from The Knot found that couples spend on average around 200 hours of planning their wedding, with around 60% of that time spent researching vendors and suppliers online. They're not just looking at Instagram profiles anymore. They're reading reviews, comparing packages, asking friends for recommendations, and even lurking into the wedding planning groups on Facebook to get some genuine feedback.
That is such a massive amount of research, really,
Isn't
when we
it?
think about it, like 200 hours planning a wedding. And what can happen when people do a lot of research is it can lead to something that we call analysis paralysis. When couples are faced with too many choices, it becomes overwhelming for them and they can struggle to make a decision. And this is where you, as a wedding supplier and a professional, need to step in and make the process easier for them.
Exactly. Analysis paralysis, easy for you to say, is a real issue, and we are seeing it more and more because of the sheer amount of information that is available. The more options and packages that you present, the more difficult it then becomes for couples to choose, and often they end up postponing their decision altogether.
So let's look at what we can do to make this process smoother and help your couples, especially Gen Z couples who are really used to kind of researching. They've been around since, the internet and social media and everything. They've always had it in their life. They are very savvy when it comes to this sort of stuff, very savvy. Research doesn't faze them at all. But how can you, as a wedding supplier, kind of help couples make the decision that you are the best supplier for them? Let's go and look at some practical strategies that you can put into your business.
So firstly, and this goes back to what I was saying a minute ago, simplify your offerings. If you've got multiple packages, consider how you can streamline them. Instead of offering 5 different options, narrow it down to 2 or 3 really clear choices. This not only reduces the overwhelm, but also makes it easier for couples to understand what they are getting. For example, instead of having silver, gold, and platinum packages, you might just have like an essentials and a premium, with the key differences mega clearly outlined.
And I think as well, just a note on that, never call your packages silver.
That was just like off the top of the head. But yeah.
That is a good point. Another kind of thing you can do is offer that personalized guidance. Think about your onboarding process. We did a whole episode on this a couple of episodes ago. But once a couple reaches out to you, guide them through the process. Don't just send them a price list. And we've had so many conversations with people about this, haven't we? Don't just send them a price list and kind of hope for the best. You want to make sure that you are explaining the benefits, how you can tailor your offer to their specific needs. You need to really look at your onboarding process and that client journey, that customer journey, and how you can be creating personalized experiences and approaches throughout the whole of your time with that client. And this personalized approach will absolutely make a world of difference in getting those couples to make that decision.
And on that note, actually, I am literally working on today, and I'm going to be recording a brand new free training that actually talks about onboarding and how you can reduce ghosting. So if you do want to kind of dive into that a little bit more, drop us a little DM over on Instagram and we will ping that free training across to you. And as well, it is worth remembering that Gen Zs are all about transparency and authenticity. They don't want to feel like they are being sold to at all. Instead, they want to feel like they're making an informed decision. So be open about your pricing, what's included, and any additional costs that they might need to consider. Don't hide any details. Transparency really helps build trust, and trust, as we know, leads to bookings.
I think on that note as well, it's also about don't make the process any more lengthy than it needs to be. Gen Z, and actually, I'm not in the Gen Z market whatsoever, but I do feel like this. We're kind of conditioned now to have information at our fingertips, aren't we?
Yeah.
So don't make it difficult for people to find this stuff online. Have a sustainability policy on your website that's easy to find. Have things that are important to your business, important to your couples, easy to find on your website. Exactly what we're saying there. The transparency builds the trust, but also it's just a level of professionalism and something that this generation does expect. They don't want to have to constantly ask you for things along the process. It just makes it feel like you're going to be difficult to work with kind of further on. Make it easy for these couples to kind of say yes to you after your call or your consultation with them. Send something as simple as a follow-up email summarizing everything you discussed, highlighting those benefits that you've explained on that call with them, and then providing a really clear next step or call to action. It could be something like a link to book your service or a button that helps them make that deposit. Do not leave it up to them to have to reply to you to figure out what that next step is. Guide them through that process.
And that's just it as well, right? Isn't it? It's a process. You don't have to, in that follow-up email, bombard them with like every bit of information that you might think they need to know. Like, tell them the next step, simplify it, and then you can take it step by step instead of going, okay, so this will happen, then that'll happen, and then you need to go over there and look at this. Like, nah, like simple as it can be. And another practical tip here is to leverage social proof, showcasing real client testimonials, case studies, and even short video clips from past couples can make a massive impact. According to Bright's, 91% of consumers trust online reviews as much as personal recommendation. 91%, that is huge. So if couples are seeing others having a fantastic experience with you, they will feel so much more confident in making that decision to book with you.
Yeah, so get those testimonials in your social media,
Mhm.
in your content, on your website. Have it, even have like maybe one on your email signature, have case studies on your website as well. Be showcasing that on socials. We were building some landing pages for some ads and looking over some landing pages with ads for some of our clients this week. And we were like, right, these testimonials, let's dive into them. What can we pull out of these to really make these ads really effective? And it's exactly this reason that couples are trusting those testimonials from other couples. So, from people in similar situations, looking for similar experiences that they're looking for, as much as a recommendation from a friend. So if you are somebody that is really struggling to get testimonials in your business, or you're maybe struggling to get good testimonials in your business, not good as in, that they say that you did a good job, but good as in
There's a difference between a
are,
good testimonial and a good testimonial.
yeah, I think it's
An
an
effective.
effective, testimonial that's actually going to provoke action from somebody. So if you are struggling to get those effective testimonials, reach out and we can have a chat and have a look at your offboarding process and what's going on with that. Okay, let's talk about urgency, but I really want to touch upon this in an authentic way and really encourage you as a wedding professional always to be authentic and trustworthy. This is really important to all couples, and especially more so now, like we're having more conversations online. More of our lives are run online. It's very easy for people to find out kind of everything about your business, everything about past experiences you've had with couples. But we know that couples are more likely to act when they feel that there is a reason to do so. So if you are getting booked up for a popular wedding season, be honest and let them know, I only have 2 dates left for, December 2025. I'd love to help make your day special. And something like that creates urgency without feeling super pushy.
Mhm.
And be authentic, because if you don't want to get a reputation for, saying things like this that aren't true, and then people come back to you and they're like, oh,
Hold on a minute.
like
That's
they've left it 6 months, but you still have those dates available. Or so definitely make sure that you're being authentic there. It's how you say these things and how you inspire people to take action. It's just about, how you word it.
Don't forget as well about nurturing your leads. Not every couple will be ready to book with you straight away. And that's okay. Stay in touch with them through your emails, your social media, or by even sending a handwritten note. I mean, don't even get posts like that anymore. Like only thing I get through the post is bills. Keep them engaged and show them that you are genuinely interested in being a part of their journey. And this will really help keep you top of mind when they are ready to make that decision.
What's really important there is that quite often wedding suppliers are always promoting to the couples who are ready to buy now. And actually a vast majority, more than 50, more than 60, it's 80% of couples actually fall into the buy later category. So it's not every couple, the majority of couple won't be ready to book straight away. So it's how you have processes inside your business that you stay top of mind, and you can't really just rely on social media algorithms anymore. Yes, you can run ads, which is a strategy in itself. You can do things like you've said, email marketing, sending a note through the post. All of these are little strategies, but if you don't have a strategy to market to the buy later couple, go and find our past episode on the marketing to the buy. I think another aspect to just consider is how you are positioning yourself in kind of a changing economy and changing landscape in the wedding industry as well. We are seeing kind of a shift over the last sort of 2 years since COVID, really, of more intimate, smaller weddings. And this does mean that couples are looking to invest more in quality rather than quantity. And what we're doing with our clients when we're working with our clients inside of our program is working with them to be able to emphasize that value that they bring and that experience that they bring to couples' special days. You know, maybe you offer something bespoke or have expertise that sets you apart from others in your niche. It's how you are marketing and communicating that effectively in your marketing online, but also in your consultations as well.
And don't be afraid as well to diversify your offerings. For example, if you're a photographer, consider offering engagement shoots, elopements, or even mini wedding packages. One of our clients, we had like a bit of a win this week. Did he say he'd booked a shoot in Santorini? Santorini, guys.
Santorini, and it's not actually for the wedding. They've already got married. They're just going over there for photos, and they want him to go over with them. Amazing.
Yeah, but this not only gives you more opportunities to work with couples, but also meet their needs if they're looking for something a bit different or smaller scale due to budget constraints, or if they are just looking for that little something extra.
I think just on that note there, I was having a conversation yesterday with a business that are setting up a new CRM in the wedding industry. They're going to be at WedCon. Amazing business, looked all behind the scenes of their CRM yesterday. But we were having a conversation and she was discussing in terms of legacy clients, so clients that would have repeat business, and kind of this idea with the wedding industry that doesn't happen. And I just love that you touched on a photographer that is working with us who actually he's done their wedding, but they've come back to him to have photographs in Santorini, which we've both been to, haven't we? It's beautiful, beautiful.
Went for a honeymoon.
Love it. And are taking him over there, all expenses paid, to to get some nice photographs after their wedding, post-wedding, which is just beautiful, and proof that if you can stay top of mind, if you can continue that relationship with your clients, there is no reason. And we've talked about this previously on previous podcasts, and we discussed this inside of our programs as to how then we get repeat custom. So it doesn't just rely on referrals and testimonials down the line. I think just something to be mindful of when we are touching on this subject is how you are communicating payment options. So what are the expectations there? Do you offer flexible payment plans? Do you prefer monthly installments? These can make a massive difference to couples who are hesitant to commit to such a big upfront cost. And we touched on this right at the beginning of the podcast. This just shows that you can be flexible and you are willing to work with them to make their dream wedding an absolute reality, and you can be flexible with how they pay. Obviously, they need to clear their balance before the wedding, but if you can be flexible as to how that happens and have clear communication on that, clear communication on your onboarding process, but also clear communication, you can put this out in blogs, you can put this out in social posts. It's just how you communicate it. So it doesn't sound like a finance agreement, but it sounds more of a benefit to your clients and your couples.
So to wrap up, it is worth remembering, whilst couples are taking longer to book things for their wedding, they will still need to book things. So yes, it might take a little bit longer to make decisions, but that does not mean they are not interested. It's just a bit of a reflection of the current climate, both economically and in terms of how they are now consuming information.
Yeah, don't lose hope or think that this year is a write-off. We are still hearing of stories of people booking for even 2024, and we are now in September, like almost October, and we are still hearing of bookings coming in for December of this year. So there will be people that kind of are holding out. There'll always be those last minute weddings. Instead, focus. Don't just think this year is done. There's nothing I can do, and resign yourself to that kind of fate. You want to be focusing on building those connections with your future couples, simplifying any processes that you've got inside your business, and making sure that you are that go-to expert and that your couples know it, that they can trust. The more you are able to adapt your business, the more bookings you will secure.
Absolutely. And we really hope that today's episode has given you lots of actionable strategies to take away for your own business. And remember, the wedding industry is always changing, and the businesses that do the best are the ones that change with it.
I love that. And don't forget to check out WedCon. We'd love to see you there. If you are looking for more insights like this, more strategies and connections to help you thrive inside of the wedding industry, make sure you are at WedCon on the 20th of November at Old Palace in Chester. It's really creeping up now. We're really looking forward to seeing as many of you as possible. We will drop a ticket link in the show notes, and tickets are really flying fast, aren't they? Tickets, if they are not gone already, will close for sale at the very beginning of November. So you don't have long to secure your ticket. And invite a friend as well. Events are always better with friends, aren't they, Roxy?
Yes.
So
And
if you know a wedding flyer that would benefit from being at WedCon, let them know about it.
And don't forget to go and explore his day's resources if you want to make sure your business is more inclusive and welcoming to all couples. Thanks so much for tuning in today.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Wed Pro Podcast. Full transcribes of this episode, plus every other episode we have done, are available at www.theweddingbusinesshub.com/blogs. Thanks so much for listening. If you do have any questions about this episode or anything else at all, you can email us at info@theweddingbusinesshub.com. And if you are loving our episodes, which I know you are, make sure you hit the subscribe or follow button so you can stay updated with any new episodes that land. We look forward to seeing you on the next episode.